All right, I started taking it apart like you do when you're going to clean it. And this pump is one that I got from Amazon. I just cut the wires from the pump from the Gardyn, capped them off, and then with this pump from Amazon, you can see me disconnecting it. So that tells you how I connected it. And then I just ran the cord to it up through the hole where you access the tank. Okay, so that's the old pump cord. I'm checking the hoses attachment there to make sure they look okay. Okay, so I'm taking all the screws out of the bottom. Obviously, I fast forwarded it or sped it up. Okay, I took out all the screws from the top of the column so that I could disconnect the columns. Then I'm disconnecting the hoses. So just checking the hoses again. I think I replaced one at some point. I'm pulling the whole lid away from the columns. I left the lights attached, so there's where we're at now. And then you can take the wooden piece off. Okay, showing you the next set of screws that I took out. Cutting open the waterproofing stuff around the plate. So in here is where all of the components, well, a lot of the components are. And I just, ooh, gross. That's one of the sensors. I just went in and you'll see I just cut everything out of there and removed it. That's the screw to the power switch box, which I also opened that up and cut those cords. Okay, not the best view, but I'm just showing you how I unhooked all those wires and took them out. Okay, you don't need to take this thing out. I just did because I couldn't remember, but there's holes under there, so you can see I put it back, and you won't be able to seal off the tank if you take that out completely. In case it's not clear, seal off meaning there would be a hole from the tank up into the lid, and I didn't want water to splash up inside there. It took me a minute to figure out how to get the metal part off, and it turns out you just pull it up and it slides right off. So you can see in a second I cut all those cords. I just cut the one to the old on off button. I didn't cap it or anything, but no electricity is getting to it, so I don't think it matters. But let me know if you think it's a problem. Next, I took out the screws on the lights. Here's all the wires, and I'm getting rid of all the ones I don't need, including the camera wire, because I don't care about the camera. You have to take off this black thing in order to pull the wires up through that wire part, that metal part. You'll see, there they go. And then you have to cut this little bit off the bottom of the camera wire so that you can pull it all the way out. I just left the rest of the camera wire in the light column because I didn't want to deal with it. So now you'll see when I put the light back on, I'm going to keep all those wires out. Just showing you the wire and where I put the screw back, and then this is the other side, and I just did the same exact thing on the other side. And here's the wires hanging out the way I want them to. After I put the lights back onto the metal prongs. So now I'm just putting the metal plate back on. This is the silicone sealant that I used, and I'm just showing you where I put it. Basically, I put it all over the inside, anything that I wanted to cover. So putting the wooden part back on, obviously, and now I'm going to put all those screws that hold the wooden part on back in. So this is when I double checked the cords and replaced one of them, and I'm showing you more spots where I'm putting the silicone sealant. I also went around the entire lid and filled in that groove with sealant all the way around the entire lid. When I reattached the tube from the pump to the Gardyn columns, I shortened it because if you keep the hose too long, it can get crimped and prevent water from getting into the columns. All right, so now I'm showing you how I rewired the lights. So obviously, this is what I used. I stripped the ends of the wires, and then I took the red from each light and I used one of those connectors. I'm measuring right there to see how much of the wire to strip, and twisted those together, and then I'm gonna put them in the connector. And I had, there I'm crimping it in. And then I had this heat gun from a different project. It came with it. I can't remember what it was from, but there's the information about it. So you just blast this with heat and then it shrinks down. And these are marine grade connectors. All right, now I've got the black wires, one from each side, strip them, put them in one of the connectors, same thing. In case it's not obvious, I fast forwarded through the heating part while it shrank. It's not this fast. It does take a minute to shrink. All right, here's where I'm at. I've got the two reds and the two blacks together. And now I'm going to connect those to this main power brick. It's the same procedure. I'm just cutting off that part. I'm going to strip everything. There you can see what it looks like. So I'm attaching the red part to the red on the other side, crimping, shrinking it, and then the same with the black. I cut it here because you already saw me do the other side. So then this is the finished setup, what it looks like. I cut all the sound from the original video so I can do the voiceover. But you can see this outlet is a smart outlet and everything is hooked up to Siri so I can ask her to turn things on.